I have been talking a lot about trends recently with trend trading, and here's an interesting story. One of the trend traders in here has a business or a hedge fund or something, but what she did is in her track record is she left off her first year of trading. She had a bad first year, so she doesn't include her first year of trading in her track record. And according to the author, that person was trying to prevent him from talking about her. And I can see why. Is because that is fudging your history. If your first year you have a horrible year and you have many great years after that, if you just leave off the first year, it looks a lot better than you have to average that first year in there. One of my friends who's a poker player told me that poker is just one game. Poker is one lifetime game. What you have to do is you have to add up all your winnings and losses from the first hand you ever play through your entire life. Poker is only one game. And trading should be one game also. So what that person did with the record was leave out the first year. That seems like they're trying to change revisionist history. So one person who's been popular in the alternative media is Gerald Celente. He has his trends forecasting. And I got this book a few years ago. I had featured it in a video. See, Gerald even signed it in 1999. The book was written in 1997 by Warner Books, a Time Warner company, right? And here's a picture of him back when he was younger, from the 90s. And here's the interesting thing, is that at one time there were probably 100,000 people, I'm guessing, in the alternative media who followed him. Right now there are probably tens of thousands of people who still follow him. There are millions of people who've seen him because he's been on Fox and Glenn Beck and all these things. But I tell you one thing. Out of the people who were following him a few years ago, out of tens of thousands of people who follow or followed him, only a few people have actually even read his older material. I don't know the number, but I'm pretty sure it's less than 1%. Most people who listen to him probably have never even heard of this book, Trends 2000. So if you really want to see how someone is a trends forecaster, you got to find their older material. What was he saying in 1997? And what has happened since then? Do you want the answer? Well, it's out there. You can go find it. But I'll tell you one thing. The alternative media knows that the vast majority of people will not go back and look at that stuff, so they can say whatever they want, and if a few percent try and contradict them, they can just ignore them, because the vast majority of people on YouTube will not go back and look at someone else's track record from times past. So I'm not saying he's right or wrong, I'm just saying is that you can figure it out yourself. Okay, so I'm going to segue back into the whole coin flip and risk thing. It sounded in a previous video that I didn't know what a zero-sum game is. So I will describe for you what a zero-sum game is to show you that I know what it is. So what is a zero-sum game? That's when you and your buddies play poker and all the money you put in the pot goes back to the players, right? You know, one person might win all the money, or it might be split up, but the fact of the matter is the amount of money that goes into the game is the same as the amount of money that's paid out, a zero-sum game. So flipping a coin, you and someone else flipping a coin and betting, right? As long as no one else takes a cut, that's a zero-sum game. Now, what is a negative-sum game? That's like if you play poker at a casino and the house takes a cut, right? There is less money goes out to the players than the players as a group put in. The house is taking a cut. Does that mean you shouldn't play in this situation? Well, no, because if you are a great poker player and you're playing people who aren't good, you're okay with the house taking a cut and it being a negative-sum game, because the odds are, you're still going to win. And vice versa, right? A zero-sum game might be horrible odds for you. So what is a positive-sum game? I'll give you an example. In the past, when Hasbro used to donate money to the Scrabble Championship Prize Fund, that was a positive-sum game, because the players would put entry fees to play, and the prize payout to the players was bigger than the entry fee. Does that mean you should play in the championship? Well, if you're not good at Scrabble, you're just gonna be giving your money to other players. Even though it's a positive sum game, that positive sum usually goes to the same small group of players who are the top players. So that's a positive sum game. Okay, now getting back to the coin flip. Yesterday I was saying how I don't like the idea of doing a bet with, you flip a coin, and if you get heads, you double your money, and if you get tails, you lose your money. Even though it's, quote, even odds, that one coin flip I don't like. But I might like it in other situations. Say, for example, we're in an economic situation where half of all investments go to zero, but half of all investments, the other half, double in price. So if you're only doing one coin flip, you're either going to lose all your money or double your money. And I don't like that. But the more bets you do, the more you flatten your risk, and you can preserve your capital. Say, for example, you have $1 million, and someone tells you you're in a situation where you must do this flip a coin bet for your money. Well, what do? You do this bet 1,000,000 times. If you flip your coin 1,000,000 times, where every time you flip it you either double $1 or lose $1, after 1,000,000 flips, statistically speaking, you should have very close to $1 million, because 1,000,000 coin flips is a lot. And half the time you win $1, half the time you lose $1. But if you do it 1,000,000 times, your risk is so flattened out that you're going to be pretty close to having your original $1 million. From a percent basis, it's almost, very, very close. I mean, you'll be, I don't know, you might be $100 or $1,000 higher or lower, I don't know, but you'll be pretty close to your original stack. And that's another concept with risk management, about spreading out risk, about doing many risky bets. That's another concept that I want to introduce, is that when it comes to the fewer coin flips you have, the more likely it is you're either going to make a lot or lose a lot. But the more coin flips you do, the more you get back to what your original stack of money is. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope you earned something.